Stop what you are doing. Put everything else down. If you are standing at the edge of a decision right now, a big one, the kind that involves a person, a place, a direction, a version of yourself you are about to commit to, I need you to hear what I am about to say before you take another step. Because the sky right now is doing something that looks like permission. It feels like a green light. Every planet is moving forward. The sun is burning in Aries. Saturn is in Aries. Neptune is in Aries. Chiron is in Aries. Venus has been in Aries. The entire cosmic atmosphere is drenched in the fire of the first sign, the sign of beginning, of charging forward, of being the first one through the door. And that fire is real. The momentum is real. The window is real. But there is one thing about Aries fire that almost no one will tell you. And if you make a major decision before you understand this one thing, you will be using the most powerful energy of the year to build something that was never truly yours to build. You will be moving at maximum speed in a direction you chose while the smoke of everything else was still clearing. Most people will feel the Aries season and mistake urgency for clarity. They will feel the fire and call it certainty. They will make the call, sign the document, leave the relationship, start the thing, commit to the direction, all of it driven by the extraordinary forward charge of a sky full of fire. And 6 months from now, they will be standing in the rubble of the right action, taken at the wrong understanding. Do not be most people. What I'm about to share with you in the next few minutes is the single distinction that separates those who use this Aries window to build something that lasts from those who use it to escape something they have not yet finished understanding. Here is what is actually happening in the sky right now. Every planet is moving forward. Since March 20th, the day of the spring equinox and the day Mercury stationed direct, not a single planet in our solar system has been retrograde. This is the most unobstructed forward window of the entire year. Every current is running in the same direction. There is no drag, no backward pull, no review energy anywhere in the chart. Pure forward motion. And into this forward window, the sun has entered Aries. The spring equinox ignited the first fire of the astrological year. Aries rules beginnings, initiatives, the primal impulse to move, to act, to become. The sun in Aries is not a suggestion, it is a command. Begin, move, decide, act. Saturn sits at 7 degrees of Aries, still resonating with its recent conjunction with Neptune, still carrying the charge of a 36-year cycle that cracked open in late February. Saturn in Aries is the architect at the opening of a new construction era. It is not asking what you want to build eventually. It is asking what you are building now and whether it will hold. Neptune is at 2 degrees of Aries, still absorbing the shock of being in fire after 14 years in water. The planet of dreams, of vision, of what cannot be proven but is true nonetheless, is burning in the sign of action. Dreams are being ignited, visions are becoming impulses. The fog that used to protect your deepest desires from premature exposure has burned away. Chiron at 26 degrees of Aries is in the final degrees of its long passage through this sign. The wounded healer is delivering its last and most concentrated transmission. Every unhealed wound that has been informing your decisions without your awareness is pressing now toward the surface. Not to destroy you, to be seen finally so it stops steering. Venus has been burning through Aries, sharpening desire to a point, not diffuse longing, specific, directed, unapologetic want. The heart in Aries does not ask if it is appropriate to want what it wants. It simply wants it and begins moving toward it. This is the sky you are living inside right now, and it is extraordinary. The combination of energies pressing on you from every direction is screaming one word: forward, move, decide now. And here is the trap, because the loudest voice in the room is not always the wisest one. Aries fire is the most honest energy in the zodiac, but it is also the youngest. Aries is the first sign, the infant, the one who moves before thinking, who throws the whole weight of its existence into the direction of now. Aries does not consult history. Aries does not ask what has already been tried and failed. Aries does not wait to understand whether the hunger it is feeling is appetite or starvation. And this distinction, appetite versus starvation, is the one thing you must understand before you make any major decision in this window. When you are moving from appetite, you are moving towards something. The choice you are making is an addition, an expansion, a genuine beginning of something new. Your body is warm when you think about it. Your chest expands. The thought of it energizes you, rather than making you grip something tight. When you are moving from starvation, you are running away from something. The choice looks like moving toward a destination, but when you examine it honestly, it is the destination's distance from your current pain that is motivating you more than the destination itself. Your body is tense when you think about it. Your jaw clenches. The thought of it produces relief rather than joy, and relief and joy, while both pleasant, are not the same thing. Relief is what you feel when pain stops. Joy is what you feel when life begins. Aries fire does not know the difference. It burns equally for both. And in a sky this saturated with Aries energy, with the Sun, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and Venus all in this sign simultaneously, the urgency generated by starvation and the urgency generated by genuine desire feel absolutely identical in the body. They feel the same in the hands. They feel the same in the chest. They feel the same in the speed with which you want to move. They feel the same in the conviction you carry about why now is the right time. The only way to tell them apart is to stop. Just for a moment, just long enough to ask one question. And that question is not what do I want? The question is, what am I leaving? If you cannot answer that question without defending yourself, if the mere act of asking it makes you want to prove that you are not running away but moving toward, that defensiveness is a signal worth listening to. Genuine appetite does not defend itself. It simply knows what it wants and reaches for it. The starvation version needs you to believe it is appetite, because if it admitted it was starvation, you might stop long enough to feed the real hunger instead of running from it. Let me tell you what is happening in your body right now, because the cosmos does not send its signals only through the calendar. It sends them through sensation. And if you have been paying attention to yourself in the days since the equinox, since the all planets direct window opened, since the Aries new moon lit its gate on March 29th, you may have noticed things that do not have ordinary explanations. A sharpness of want that you have not felt in years, not vague longing, specific named directional desire. This is Venus burning in Aries, sharpening the heart's appetite to a point. Your desires are not soft right now. They have edges. They know their own shape. And that clarity can feel so good after months of retrograde fog that you want to follow it immediately, completely, without pausing to ask whether the clarity is about the destination or just about the relief of finally being able to see something clearly. An impatience with everything that is not the decision. The ordinary rhythm of your days feels slightly unbearable. The routines that used to hold you feel like a cage. The obligations you have been managing for months feel suddenly intolerably heavy. This is Aries stripping the inessential, revealing what the fire in your chest is actually burning for. But it is also possible that this same stripping is just Aries heat, burning everything that is familiar, which is not the same as burning everything that is false. A sense that the right time is now or never. The 48-hour feeling, the pressing urgency that makes delay feel like failure. This is the all planets direct window speaking through your nervous system. Every current moving forward does create a real urgency. The window closes May 6th. The most powerful Aries concentration of the year will not repeat. But urgency is not the same as readiness. And the difference between those two things is the entire question this video is asking you to hold. Now let me be precise about what this means for April and what it means for the decisions that are pressing against you right now. Saturn in Aries is not telling you to wait forever. Saturn in Aries is the most impatient planet in the most impatient sign, and it has zero tolerance for delay that is dressed as discernment. What Saturn is asking is not whether you will act, it is whether the action you take will build something or demolish something. There is a specific difference between an Aries decision that builds and an Aries decision that demolishes. A building decision leaves the thing you are leaving better for having been left honestly. A demolishing decision leaves it worse and leaves you carrying the debris. When you end something from starvation energy, you end it badly. You end it with words you cannot take back, with a version of the story that makes you the hero and the other person or place or version of yourself the villain, with a decisiveness that is actually speed disguised as resolution, running too fast to feel what you are losing, what you are choosing, what you are actually doing. When you end something from appetite, you end it clearly, with honesty that costs you something, with words that are true rather than satisfying, with the willingness to feel grief alongside the forward momentum, because genuine beginnings always carry an honest goodbye to what they are beginning from. This is what April is asking of you, not to stop, not to hesitate, not to swallow your fire and wait for a quieter season. The quieter season is not coming. The sky will not offer you another window of this power for the rest of this year. What April is asking is that you bring the full temperature of your Aries fire to the right question before you bring it to the next action. The right question is not should I move? The answer is yes, move. The right question is not, is this the right direction? Your soul already knows. The direction is right. The right question is, am I moving from what I love or running from what I fear? Because here is what Saturn in Aries and the rest of this sky will do with your answer. If you are moving from what you love, the foundation Saturn lays in Aries will hold. The structure you build in this window will carry the weight of everything you put on it. The action you take from genuine appetite will be the first stone in something that stands for years. If you are running from what you fear, Saturn in Aries will build the foundation anyway. It is not discriminating. It is not protecting you from yourself. It will lay the foundation with the same permanence it brings to everything. And what gets built on a foundation of starvation may take years to show its cracks, but it will crack. Because nothing built on what you are running from has the weight-bearing capacity that life eventually requires. And here is the body signal that tells you everything you need to know before April 1st. Because this is not abstract, this is not philosophical, this is the most practical thing I will tell you today. Sit quietly for 3 minutes. Not with your phone, not with the noise of the ordinary world, with yourself in whatever version of quiet you can access right now, and think about the decision that is pressing on you. The one you know I am talking about, the one you arrived here already carrying. Feel where it lives in your body. If it lives in the chest, in the sternum, in the place where joy and grief coexist, where expansion and ache are different faces of the same thing, you are moving from appetite. That is where genuine desire lives. That is the Mars in Aries frequency, the fire that builds. If it lives in the gut, in the stomach, in the clenching, in the tightness that feels like urgency, but has a slightly sour quality beneath the adrenaline, you are moving from starvation. That is where fear lives when it disguises itself as decision. That is still real, still important, but it is not a beginning, it is an escape. And escapes, no matter how justified, do not become homes. You still get to move. You always get to move. But the one who moves from the chest arrives somewhere. The one who moves from the gut arrives somewhere else, and then has to move again, still carrying what they were running from. This is the one thing the Aries sky will not tell you, because Aries does not hesitate long enough to say it. It falls to the older planets, to Saturn and Chiron in this same sign, to say it clearly. You have the fire. You have the window. You have the most powerful forward current of the year behind you. Use it. But before you use it, spend the 3 days before April 1st in the chest, not the gut. Because once Saturn in Aries lays a foundation, it stays. The decision you make in this window, the direction you commit to, the relationship you begin or end, the version of yourself you declare yourself to be in front of another human being, Saturn will engrave that into the architecture of the next phase of your life, with the permanence it brings to everything it touches. You will not want to undo it. If it is the right thing, you will not need to. If it is the escape dressed as beginning, you will not be able to. Not without cost. 3 days. Before April 1st. 3 quiet days to ask your chest and not your gut where this is coming from. The fire is real. The window is real. The direction is real. The only question is whether you are the one going forward or the one running backward fast enough that it looks like forward motion. You know which one you are. You have always known. The Aries sky just turned up the volume until it was impossible to pretend you did not hear it. If what you just heard landed somewhere that already knew it was true, write it in the comments, not for performance. For the person who has been making this decision all week and needed to hear that pausing for 3 days before April 1st is not weakness. It is the most Aries thing possible. Because Aries does not charge blindly. Aries charges precisely. The ram does not lower its head until it knows exactly what it is charging toward. If someone in your life is standing at a decision that is pressing too hard and moving too fast, send them this. They may not thank you immediately. They will later. Subscribe and turn on notifications. What comes after April 1st is when the decision you made gets tested by fire, and what I will share with you about that window changes the way you understand why you chose what you chose. The universe has spoken. What comes next is in your hands.